Hello and welcome to my mini course for permaculture for beginners. My name is Jaleesa Snooks-Brown and I am so excited to showcase what I have been working on for the past 9 months in the instructional design and technology micromasters. My brain wants to say mini course because I've been saying it all day. So without further ado, this is my mini course. I am presenting it in student view because I really want to showcase what exactly the student will see. And yeah, so when you come to the dashboard, this is our home page. You see that we have 3 modules and it starts with this Welcome to Permaculture for Beginners, and this is where our students will start. So if you click here, what comes up is our welcome page. It just gives a little bit of an overview of the mini course and also tells us where to find our syllabus, and it explains how to get started in this course. So let's go over to the syllabus really quick and take a look. I did upload it so that it could be downloaded in a PDF format. And on the syllabus, we have all of the requirements from the rubric from our LDT course. So the course title and description, the CLOs. I left the instructor contact blank just because I wasn't very comfortable with putting my personal email and information out there, and obviously I don't have office hours. But of course, the course prerequisites, since it's an introductory course, there are none. Technology requirements, the grading policy, the late policy, and so forth. So let's close out of that and go back to our welcome page, and I can show you a little bit more about that. Okay, so right here it's telling us what we're going to learn in this mini course, and so it's telling us we're learning about what permaculture is and what are the principles, how to analyze our respective microclimates, and how to design and grow your own garden to meet your own individual needs. So we're going to move forward in this first module just to give you a good idea of what it looks like. So each module starts with this introduction and overview page where it goes over the learning objectives and what we're going to be discussing in the module. So let's go through this. So on this first page, what is permaculture? It's a reading page of just giving us a little bit of background information, and it also has this video that goes to YouTube from the 2 creators of permaculture, Bill Mollison and David Holmgreen. On the next page, we do have some pictures that upload quite nicely. I generated these images from Canva. So this goes into detail about our principles of permaculture, which is aligning with our first learning objective and also our first course learning outcome. So it has the CLO and the learning objective in this first page. And then what I attached was a downloadable document. This is a PDF document of the principles of permaculture image that I had created back in LDT 300. So this is a wonderful resource because students can download this and keep it for themselves and refer back to it throughout the course, because this course is it's a course that builds off of the previous learning module. So in the second learning module, I refer back to the principles of permaculture pretty often, and it's also something that they can use when they are taking the knowledge check at the end of this module. So I'll take you to that. This is the principles of permaculture in context and how you can apply the permaculture principles to your life. And then here is our knowledge check. I made it out of 20 points, and so this is the knowledge check that I had created for using the Kirkpatrick 2 module. So here I have multiple choice questions. These are matching each principles. I have true and false. I have another multiple choice, and then I also have this is a short answer, and You gotta excuse my answer here. I was just making sure that it worked. But yes, so those are the questions and the formats that I used for the Kirkpatrick Level 2 assessment. So that is the end of Module 1. So if we scoot down here to Module 2 and go over this is going with our second course learning outcome, how to analyze a microclimate relative to your area. So again, each module starts with this introduction and overview. Here are our lesson objectives, and here are the topics covered. Every single page in this module has a picture, it's telling you where I got the image source, and then of course a video, the information that I want you to learn, and the licensing and attributions. And then, yeah, just keep going through. This one doesn't have a video. Okay, and then we are at the discussion. So this is the discussion page that I had created for this module. The students are going to identify a specific microclimate in their area. And then I would also like to take you down, because that's how we end Module 2. And Module 3 is where we have our final assessment. So I want to skip down, and I really want to take some time to go over this and go through the final assessment and give you some details on that, because this is probably the part that I've been most excited about for my mini course. So for the final assessment, what students are basically going to do is they're going to combine all the things that they learned in the 3 modules of the mini course. So the goal is to show how you can implement each principle of permaculture into a garden design. And there's a lot of different ways that I wanted to leave this pretty open to the students. So they're going to describe the space that they're using. They're going to sketch out a design for me, explain how they planned each step, and then there's going to be a reflection part. And it also gives a little bit of information on how the work's going to be reviewed and how to submit it. So let's take a look over here and just look at it. So this is where they will submit their final assessment, and here is the rubric for the final assessment. So I broke down the criteria into how they explain their microclimate analysis, the design and the blueprint that went into it, the application of permaculture principles, a reflection that they write talking about why they made the choices that they did, how creative and how feasible their design is. So can their design actually be created? And then the overall clarity of the presentation. Does it make sense? Does it align with the learning outcomes? Is it all of the things that, you know, did you put into it what you got out of it, essentially? So if this was a real course that I was teaching, I think I would be so happy. But this is where we're going to finish. This is just a congratulations on completing the course, and just to let students know that they have reached the end of it. So yes, I am so happy that I get to showcase this. I'm just in a little bit of disbelief that it's already over, and you know, I feel like this is a mini course that, even though the LDT course is finished up, I still want to keep working on it and building it up, not only for a portfolio, but just because, like I said, this is a topic that I'm extremely passionate about. And one goal that I do have with this mini course is to eventually just utilize it as an open educational resource for people who are interested in permaculture and sustainability and all of those things, because I feel like that is knowledge that we really need in this world, and that's knowledge that everybody should have access to. So I'm extremely grateful for the skills that I learned in the instructional design and technology program through edX in UMGC. And oh, one thing I did want to highlight, um, all of the pictures that I used do have alt text. I selected that it was a decorative image, so I think that freezes the alt text, but I did put alt text in there, and all of the videos do have closed captioning. So, yeah, that pretty much concludes my presentation of my mini course. I truly appreciate your time, and I really appreciate any feedback I could get from this course in areas that I could improve on. Um, I can't I can't express enough how much I have grown and how much I've enjoyed this.